Without faith, it's impossible to please God. We see in Mark chapter 5, in the crowd was a woman who had been suffering from chronic bleeding for 12 years. Although she had been under the care of many doctors and had spent all her money, she had not been helped at all. Actually, she had become worse. Since she had heard about Jesus, she came from behind in the crowd and touched his clothes. She said, "If I can just touch his clothes, I'll get well." Her bleeding stopped immediately. She felt cured from her illness. At that moment, Jesus felt power had gone out of him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" His disciples said to him, "How can you ask, 'Who touched me?' when you see the crowd pressing you on all sides?" But he kept looking around to see the woman who had done this. The woman trembled with fear. She knew what had happened to her. So she quickly bowed in front of him and told him the whole truth. Jesus told her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Be cured from your illness." She suffered from chronic bleeding for 12 years. She spent all her money under the care of many doctors. She had not been helped at all. Actually, she became worse. But thanks be to God, she heard about Jesus. And she came to him and said, "If I can just touch his clothes, I'll get well." Her bleeding stopped immediately. She felt cured from her illness. At that moment, Jesus felt power had gone out of him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" Because of her faith, she made a withdrawal on the power of Jesus. He didn't know who it was. At that moment, he felt power had gone out of him. It does not matter who you are. Faith will cause you to get the things you want from God. Jesus said, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, "Move from here to there," and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. His disciples said to him, "How can you ask, 'Who touched me?' when you see the crowd pressing you on all sides?" Whatever gets between you and Jesus Christ, if you keep the faith and don't give up, you will get the things you ask him for. Jesus said, "Have faith in God." I can guarantee this truth. This is what will be done for someone who doesn't doubt, but believe what he says will happen. He can say to this mountain, "Be uprooted and thrown into the sea," and it will be done for him. That's why I tell you to have faith that you have already received whatever you pray for, and it will be yours. This woman's faith was believing that Jesus would and could heal her. And just like this woman, so often we try to fix our problem ourselves. Jesus said, "Apart from me, you can do nothing." He also said, put God's kingdom first. Do what he wants you to do. Then all these things will also be given to you. I don't know why the crowd was there, but I do know this woman was there to get her healing because she had faith in Jesus Christ. The woman trembled with fear. She knew what had happened to her. So she quickly bowed in front of him and told him the whole truth. Jesus told her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be cured from your illness." Sometimes your money and the things you have will get in the way of your faith in Jesus Christ. Her money and her doctors did not help her. But because of her faith in Jesus Christ, she was healed. All things are possible to him who believes. This woman heard about Jesus. This is why we must tell everyone we know about Jesus. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Jesus said, we must always pray and never give up. I'm Pastor Larry Cobb of the Redeeming Light Ministries. You have a blessed day.